Picture this. It's late at night, and you're lying in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying the same thought loop you've been stuck in for months. You've got an idea for a side hustle, maybe something that could finally bring in extra income, give you some freedom, or help you escape the career trap you feel stuck in. But by Monday afternoon, the doubts start kicking in. Where do I start? Do I need a website? Do I need a logo? Should I write a business plan? Before you know it, the week is over. Nothing happened, and that idea gets pushed off again. You've got ideas, maybe a dozen of them. You've even researched some of them. But every time you think about actually starting, something stops you. It's never just fear. It's the feeling that the process is too big, too confusing, too overwhelming. Suddenly, you're wondering if you need a website, a logo, an LLC, a brand, a product, a marketing plan. And within minutes, your brain decides, maybe not this week, and the cycle repeats. But the truth is, starting a side hustle does not need to be complicated. You don't need a 30-step plan. You don't need perfect branding. And you definitely don't need to spend weeks preparing before you make a single dollar. But what if we told you that you can validate, test, and launch your side hustle in just 7 days, using a minimalist system that cuts out all the noise and focuses on what actually matters? This minimalist system is a stripped-down approach that demonstrates what actually matters, proving that someone will pay you for something valuable. Everything else can come later. Today, we're going to show you a simple 3-phase system you can use to validate and launch your side hustle in just 7 days. This isn't about building a perfect business. It's about building a proven one, a small, simple, efficient system that makes money before you build anything complicated. No fluff, no busy work, no endless planning. Just practical steps that get you from idea to income as fast as possible. And stick with us until the end, because we'll show you how this simple week 1 system can evolve into a business that eventually runs without you. So let's get into it. The biggest trap new side hustlers fall into is building first and validating later. That's backwards. You're building things nobody asked for: websites, logos, branding, business plans. None of these matter if you don't have something people are actually willing to pay for. This is the only thing that matters: whether someone is willing to pay for what you offer. Not whether it looks pretty, not whether it's perfect, whether it solves a problem someone cares about enough to pay for. So your first task is to identify a real problem, not a passion project, not a random idea, a specific problem that people already spend money trying to solve. There are 3 simple types of solutions you should focus on: a service, a skill, or a shortcut. A service is something you do for someone. A skill is something you teach someone. A shortcut is something you create that saves someone time or effort. Every successful business falls into one of these categories, and these 3 are the easiest to validate quickly. And here's the key: if people are already paying for solutions, that's not competition. That's proof. Proof that money is already flowing in that direction. Once you choose the problem, you need to compress your idea into one clear sentence. We help specific person solve a specific problem by providing specific outcome. If your idea can't be explained that simply, customers won't understand it either, and you're not ready to test it. Now, once your sentence is clear, don't overthink it. Now comes the part most people skip: talking to real humans. On day 1 or day 2, reach out to real humans. Yes, real ones. Not likes, not views, conversations. Talk to people who already struggle with the problem you're solving. You're not trying to sell immediately. You're trying to confirm 3 things. Ask them what they've tried, what frustrates them, and whether they've paid for solutions before. If people admit they care about the problem, have tried to fix it, and are paying for solutions, you're on the right track. Now you're ready for the $100 validation test. The goal is simple: make your first $100 in the next 7 days. Not from your final polished offer, but from a quick, simple version of it. Too many people think they need a full product or perfect service before selling, but the most successful entrepreneurs do the opposite. They sell a simplified version first, then build based on real demand. Your goal is to earn your first $100 from real customers within the first week. Your first $100 might be a single $100 sale, 2 $50 sales, or 5 $20 sales. The amount doesn't matter. What matters is that someone is willing to exchange money for your solution. Once that happens, you are no longer starting a side hustle. You are now the owner of a small business that is ready for phase 2. Phase 2 is where most people get overwhelmed, but the minimalist system makes it simple. Your goal is to build the smallest possible system to serve your first 10 customers. Not hundreds, not thousands, just 10. This is where your offer becomes real, not because you're scaling yet, but because these 10 customers give you everything. Feedback, refinement, testimonials, and direction, which will shape everything. Your process, your messaging, your system, and eventually your automation. Start by defining your offer. Keep it incredibly simple. Your offer should have three parts: the problem you solve, the process you use, and the promise you deliver. And the process should be extremely light. No complicated tools, no automations. For communication, choose one: email, direct messages, or simple phone calls. For fulfillment, choose one: a PDF, a call, a delivered service, or a small product. That's it. Keep it simple enough that you could run the entire business from your phone if you had to. Once you know what you're offering, create one simple landing page or even a single message that explains who it's for, what it solves, and why it works. That is enough to get people to say yes. Then begin outreach, not in a spammy way, but by genuinely reaching out to people who actually need the solution. You don't need a website. You don't need branding. All you need is a way for someone to understand the value and say yes. Then begin outreach, not spam, not mass messaging, genuine outreach to people you already know or communities you're already part of. Remember, the goal isn't 100 customers, it's 10. Those 10 people will teach you more about your offer than any amount of planning ever will. While working with your first 10 customers, document everything they ask, every challenge they face, and every step you take to help them. This documentation becomes your blueprint. It's what allows you to turn your idea into a repeatable system rather than chaos. If you're tired of feeling overwhelmed and buried in tasks, we built a free checklist that shows you exactly what to stop doing right now. This 15-minute assessment reveals the responsibilities you can delegate immediately, freeing up 10 hours of your time every week. You can download it using the link in the description. It's 100% free. Once you've served your first 10 customers and refined your process, you're ready for phase 3, automation and delegation. This is how your side hustle stops being a hustle and starts becoming a system. Start with the tasks that drain the most time or energy. Automate onboarding, automate scheduling, automate follow-up. Use templates, checklists, and repeatable processes. You don't need fancy software, just clarity and consistency. Once that's done, begin delegating. And here's the most important principle: don't hire people, hire tasks. Hiring a team too early creates more work instead of less. Delegating single tasks gives you immediate time back and removes the bottlenecks that slow down your growth. If someone else can handle a $10 to $20 an hour task, while you focus on $100 an hour tasks, you've just unlocked growth. By the time you've automated your core steps and delegated the rest, your side hustle stops being a hustle. It becomes a system, a predictable, structured mini business that makes money without burning you out. And here's the best part: you can complete phase 1 in a week, 7 days. You can complete phase 2 in a month. And you can begin phase 3 as soon as you have predictable demand. And that brings us to the final part of the video. If you're ready to build a business that runs without your constant involvement, we've built a course that walks you step by step through our exact systems. It's the most effective business building program available, and you can start completely free with instant access to the full course intro. No credit card required. The link is below and in the next video. Starting a side hustle doesn't require months of planning, a perfect brand, or a complex business structure. It requires one thing: solving a problem someone is willing to pay you for. Validate quickly. Serve your first 10 customers. Build your system. Automate the essentials. Delegate the rest. And watch how fast a simple idea can become a real business. If you found this valuable, hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments what side hustle you're thinking about starting. And we'll see you in the next video.